The biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. Presented by G2G Bars. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Oh, love the energy. Good start to the hour here. Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen. Thanks for being a listener to the show. If you won't miss any portion of this program or any of the shows across the KSL Sports Zone all day long, all you have to do is go to KSLSports.com, click on the podcast button right there, or just download any of the shows in podcast form, any place that you listen to your podcasts. You can also stream it on YouTube live as well.
We're here. We see you.
I don't know why we both did the point to the camera. Hey, now. Gotcha. I see you. Thank you for your participation. Let's kick things off here. Our program brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives. The G2G Bar, the perfect protein bar. Lots of angst and questions and hand-wringing going on, of course, down at BYU on the offensive side of the football because the quarterback battle is, fully underway. You don't know where they're really at. I want to see what the reality is, but we don't really know. On the flip side, you've got the Utah fall camp and Coach Witt, and man, they've got these things. They've got things going. They got things humming. There's a reason why a lot of people have thrown out last year as an outlier, and they're thinking about this team as being more of a contender. They, of course, started off today with the AP preseason ranking. JJ, you pointed it out. Was it the first time in 6 years that this team hasn't been in the AP?
First time, yeah. Utah just broke a streak of 6 straight years being in the preseason AP top 25. It ends this year. Let's
listen to what Coach Kyle Whittingham, by the way, he probably loves that. Oh, you see the disrespect we got going on here.
Well, this is where Utah's most comfortable.
I love it. So here's what we're going to start things off here this hour with the cut. As we always do, let's jump in right here.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the show, TRAJAN Wealth.com. For all your trusted local needs in retirement, TrajanWealth.com. Kyle Whittingham starting things off here first. Our sound from the University of Utah. Here's what he had to say following their scrimmage on Saturday, also close to the public. Shocker. Here's what he said.
It went well. It wasn't as physical as some scrimmages we've had. With the ones, we had most of the ones that thud work, not live. And so that was a little bit different in that regard. We've done that in the past at times. And we just felt like that was the best approach. For the first scrimmage, two's got all the live work. They were live the entire scrimmage. And so had some good teaching tape. And I think we're in a good place right now. We're, 10 practices in after today, and 15 more to go, then we're ready to play.
How do you feel about the wide receiver group and guys that play?
That group is coming along. We feel like we've identified the top seven or eight guys that are going to be the travelers, and that we're going to sink all the reps into the rest of the way. So that group is really starting to gel, I guess you could say.
What's it look like with your running back depth as well?
The top two guys will be Wayshawn Parker and Corey Rogers, not necessarily in that order. They're interchangeable as the one. We're also having some good production from Daniel Bray, Racine Guillory, a couple freshmen that really look like they have a lot of promise. And then, of course, Devin is like a running back there at times, and so he's adding to what we're doing. And then, you got guys running the speed sweeps, the wide receivers that are giving us supplemental yardage as well.
So do you not see like a workhorse type situation?
Not yet.
Not
yet. It's more by committee at this point. But again, it's still early. We've got 15 practices left, and we'll see how it continues to develop.
Has anybody emerged in the backup quarterback position?
No, that's tight. As it was prior to the scrimmage. They both did some really good things in the scrimmage. They both made some mistakes. And so that's an ongoing process. The competition continues. And right now I would say that's going to continue at least through the next scrimmage and next and final scrimmage, which will be on Friday. And we got to make a decision shortly thereafter. But it'll continue until then.
With both of those guys, how confident are you that they could get in there if Devin needs time off? Or where are you at in terms of kind of the divide there?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously Isaac is the one that has a Division I experience, and that definitely has helped him and will help him if he's called upon this year. We're not sure how Bird will react in a game situation. He's just a true freshman, and so that works in Isaac's favor as far as the experience factor. But Bird is a guy that is very mature, doesn't seem to flinch when his number's called and when he gets his opportunities, and so we would have, whichever one emerges as the guy, we'll have confidence in him, and away we go.
You've got the 5 freshman defensive tackles that you're looking for help from. How is that group specifically playing?
We think those guys have a ton of upside, and the position group, the D-tackle position group, is going to be well stocked for years to come. You say that, and with the portal, I guess you never know, but at least right now we feel like we're in a good place. Pupu is really doing a great job. Kafusi kid's doing a great job. They're all doing things well, and they're all coming along and learning and getting better each day. But we think that we're going to have some real superstars emerge from that group.
What are the big differences between Rogers and Parker in the backfield?
Well, not a ton. They're both similar in size, 5'10", 5'11", about 210 pounds. They both do an outstanding job of picking up blitzes. They're not afraid. They stick their nose in there. They're north and south guys, so they run behind their pads well and get upfield. And they both have good hands, so they're very similar. Nikari just has more experience. Wayshawn's just a true shot.
Is there any separation on that final corner spot opposite Scooty?
Blake Cotton right now is starting to make a push, and so I'd say he's got the edge right now.
Okay, there you go. The usual suspects on the question list. Who's your workhorse running back going to be? Don't try to trick me. We got a lot of names back there. Mentioned Rogers, who, of course, is also one of the transfers. He was the one who came with Coach Beck and Devin Dampier out of New Mexico. Wayshawn Parker. I think we all know Wayshawn Parker, and I think people are crossing their fingers, JJ, hoping that Wayshawn Parker is going to be that workhorse guy. They just don't feel good about saying that right now, but why?
He's a young guy. He was a freshman last year at Washington State, and he wasn't a 1,000-yard back, and he didn't have that explosive of a season. He just showed the flashes and the promise as a freshman. There's another level he has to get at, and this is part of the process of proving that you're that guy. Nikari Rogers also had a nice season at New Mexico. He didn't have as much rushing yards as Devin Dampier did at quarterback, but he's also a veteran player who's proven that he can play. But neither guy has been that bell cow, 1,000-yard, 20-plus carries a game guy, and that's what the question was asking. And neither have been able to prove that they're ready for that yet. And I think it's okay to sort that out in the regular season. At UCLA, would you like to have a running back that's, and obviously, Joe Williams had quite a game down at the Rose Bowl against UCLA a few years back that we all remember, a record-setting day. But ultimately, it's not the end of the world if you don't have a go-to back game one. Let these guys sort it out, and I think that's what he's saying. Do we believe Wayshawn Parker will eventually be that guy? Yes, but he's got to go earn it, and he hasn't done that yet, but he'll get that chance.
Devin Dampier, of course, this is one of those guys that I think that more and more love hearing from this kid. Here's what he had to say after Saturday's live work that they had as a team.
Yeah, I think the scrimmage went very well. You can tell everyone's getting a lot more comfortable, especially, getting to see our running backs get tackled. It's a little harder to get tackled when we get to those days, so it was just good to see us clicking on all cylinders.
Who were the guys that stood out to you in terms of your pass catchers, the receivers, tight ends, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think Larry had a very big day for him. He's getting more comfortable through it, but I thought we had a very good day all around. Very limited drops. I think everybody was making plays.
What do you think of those two guys behind you in Rogers and Parker? I mean, they're kind of similar. They both could, beat you with speed. They are both power backs as well. How do you differentiate the two? Or do you?
They're very, 1-2. It's very rotational. So, I love it. I know if I hand that ball off, they're going to give me 4 or 5. So, that's a great feeling to have as a quarterback.
Devin, compared to where you were last year at this point, how do you feel like your game has changed, or how do you kind of assess your game right now?
Yeah, I always feel like the game just gets slower and slower by the year. You get more comfortable with the guys and stuff, and just me being more in a leadership role now than I was last year. Just being able to bring people on, and I think we're building something here I'm very excited for this game coming up.
Having a strong running game like you do you think that takes some of the pressure off your ability to run, or not ability, but you don't have to take as many chances to try to, risk injury and keep the ball yourself?
Yeah, I think football's one of those games you rather when you win with the pass, you win with the run. So just to make sure that they have to respect our run game, our receivers are going to have a field day as well. So, it works vice versa.
You have a bunch of experience in this offense. How do you feel the players around you that maybe are new to it? How are they adjusting, and how's the install?
Yeah, I think they're adjusting very well. They ask me questions, what they can do better, and that's just a great thing going into football. When you can get on the same cylinders, it's all about brotherhood and just having efficient plays. So everyone wants to buy in.
We've heard a lot about J.J. Buchanan. What have you seen from him that gives you confidence that he could be a guy this year?
Yeah, J.J.'s a freak of nature. To have someone that big and that athletic, and just at that young age to be able to come in here and work the way he does, big things coming from him.
Rayshawn has said that he wants to put up 1,500 this year. Utah's never had a quarterback that's rushed for 1,000 yards. Is that a goal you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I play to win, and if it happens to me running that ball, I'm gonna do what's best for my team. So if that comes with it, that's nice to happen.
There you go, Devin Dampier. Didn't you just hear the smile on that kid's face, right?
Yeah, you can see when people talk about the energy, the kids these days call it aura. He's got aura.
Oh, boy.
See?
Hey, get that drop. We've got a couple of 40-somethings talking about aura on the program.
Yeah. Hey, at least I didn't say 6'7". I guess I just did.
Yes, you did. A lot of mid-talk.
If anyone knows what that means.
A lot of mid-talk.
Please tell me.
Brian Dayball's like, very.
My 12-year-old daughter used cookie dough this week and made a 6'7".
What is, okay. All right.
In the oven.
All right. Okay.
Help me out. I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't like it.
Did my daughter commit a crime this weekend?
I feel like
we're
in trouble even talking about it. I'm not even sure.
Big giant 6'7" cookie in my living room. Here's
Nakari Rogers. This is again one of those guys who's in the backfield taking snaps at running back, and at the very least, even if he's not the workhorse, he's going to be getting. I mean, this is a Kyle Whittingham coached football team. Multiple running backs are going to be a part of this, and this is one of those transfers coming from New Mexico, Nakari Rogers.
Camp's been great, just coming from the spring transition to the fall, getting back things going with Coach Beck and so forth, and just getting everybody back on the court.
How was the scrimmage on Saturday?
The scrimmage was great, just trying to do my 111, just going, having enthusiasm throughout the plays, just do what I can without the ball and with the ball. So.
How are you and Rayshawn kind of pushing each other? Kyle was saying that you guys are basically 1A, 1B, both could be starters in the backfield. How do you guys push each other?
How can I say, whoever out there, we just know, in our room, the expectations are standard, It's just kind of, we live up to a high standard, so whatever we do, we just kind of, when we come back to the sideline, we just giving each other pointers and stuff like that as far as what we can and what we can do. So that's what kind of makes us better in the room.
You've been with Devin for a couple of years now. Just what have you seen from him just in terms of improvement, leadership, and all that through fall?
He's a playmaker all around. I'm pretty sure y'all seen what he can do as far as at New Mexico. And then, I'm just excited to see him here as far as what he can do here. And just push the tempo as far as what we did in New Mexico and just bring a new culture here.
How much has it helped you, being with Devin and Jason Beck for the last few years to come over here with it?
It was good, as far as just being in that bunch and being, just one of the ones that they can trust, just kind of keep building that trust as far as with Devin, Coach Beck, Coach Coy, et cetera. So yeah, just kind of keep doing what I'm doing and just keep building that trust and keep building the trust.
You and Rayshawn kind of have similar builds. How do you guys differentiate each other, or is it kind of the same?
It's really the same. It's really the same. I can't even lie. It's really the same. Just how we run, how we lift in the weight room, everything. It's kind of crazy. Forever. It's really funny.
As a veteran guy, how has your experience changed from maybe even last year?
As a vet, just coming and seeing the game as far as from a freshman to now, as far as I've seen a lot of things from now, so just giving the young guys pointers and stuff like that. So just being the vet, just just be more vocal, being more of a leader, and just showing on the field as far as leading by example. So,
what's it been like running behind this offensive line? How do you feel you've benefited?
It's real fun. Spencer ain't been playing as far as like some of the ones and stuff like that, but even the twos, like it's kind of like it's not really no skipping they beat, so it's really fun playing behind them. So I can imagine what the ones can do on the field.
AP preseason 25 came out. You guys aren't in it. Is that something that might motivate you? I know you don't pay much attention to rankings, but the fact that there's 4 or 5 Big 12 schools ahead of you guys right now, does that provide any kind of motivation?
Dude, they just gonna see when the season starts. That's it. Go day by day. Yeah. Awesome.
There you go. Top 25 preseason poll has not affected Nakari Rogers as much as we thought it might. Going into today.
Because every year, these coaches and players are terrorized by the opinions of the media. They can't sleep at night knowing they didn't make the preseason top 25. And they cannot wait until that opportunity that they get to show everybody that they were wrong. It keeps them up at night.
Here's now listen, I still want to hear. I want to hear from Jaron Kump because we have not enough representation of the big men.
Oh yeah,
offensive linemen deserve some credit, and this is one of those guys.
We need more O-line interviews.
And listen,
they're usually the best sound.
I will say that Jaron Kump and I think guys like Michael Mokafisi, their names aren't said first typically when you start talking about this Utah offensive line, but they have a lot of starts under their belt as a unit. This might be the most seasoned offensive line group in the entire Big 12. Certainly one of the best in terms of unit rankings. But here's what Jaron Kump had to say about going into this season and the guys that he has behind him, including his quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, we're really flattered for all the talk, all the positive talk. But in reality, our attitude as an O-line is that we haven't proved anything. I mean, the season hasn't even started. Preseason accolades in reality don't mean anything. No one's going to remember those. So our goal, our mentality, our attitude is that we haven't proved anything. We got a lot to come out and prove this year, and so we are working every single day to be able to put us in a position to be able to do that.
Jaron, what does it mean to you to be named captain?
It is the biggest honor that honestly I can think of. I'm so fortunate, I would say. So fortunate that my teammates, see me as a guy who's essentially able to fulfill that role as a captain, and so I'm so honored that to be put in this position, and so I will do everything I can to earn it every single day.
Jaron, you've been in this program for a long time. What's different about this team, or what's kind of the makeup of this team as compared to maybe years past?
Yeah, we actually had a team meeting kind of about this. I think it's just over 50% of this team is brand new. So there's a lot of new guys, and that's something that, me being here some time, this is something that's kind of new. But one thing I do love is that everyone's starting to buy in. All the new guys, the older guys, I think are really helping kind of reestablish what our standard is every single day in practice and in our workouts. And I think the new guys are really starting to buy in. And so, and we're really coming together. I'm really excited. I'm so excited for this team, and I'm just excited for it.
Not paying attention to any of the preseason stuff. I guess you don't take it as a slight that you guys were not in the preseason top 25. AP was just released today. There's like 4 Big 12 teams that are. Do you feel like this mentality of this group is something to prove?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got something to prove. As you guys know, last year was obviously not the standard, and so us not being a top 25, that's not outside of expectation because of that. And so, we got so much to prove, and that's the attitude we have, is that we got to come out and prove everything that we believe that we are.
Jaron, how's your chemistry with Devin Dampier?
Oh, it's been growing really well. I freaking love the dude. He's not only an outstanding quarterback, he's an outstanding teammate. I think he'd be okay if I said he's taken us out to eat. I don't even know how many times as an entire offensive line. So he's a team guy. He's a guy that's really here with the boy, for the boys, and he's an awesome addition to the locker room. Not only the locker room, but the offense as well. So
it's a hefty build.
It is, but he's been really awesome with us. So that's going to help us just give that little half a second longer of protection. Knowing that our guy behind us really takes care of us, we're going to try and take care of him.
There you go, Jaron Kump, offensive lineman for the University of Utah. Every one of these groups represented in this conversation: the head coach, quarterback, offensive line, running back room. And obviously, when you're hearing from the offensive side of things, that's the one where we're all looking at going, is how is this team going to perform on that side of the football? After a year of massive disappointment on that side of the football, and it affecting the other side. The defense was absolutely affected by the fact that the offense couldn't take care of business. And I think that everybody involved is in a better situation. There can't be – it just is – there's no way they don't improve off of what happened last year. There's just no way. There's no way. And part of it starts with the fact that Devin Dampier has bought in from day one. We've heard that how many times, right? I mean, this is a guy who came in, immediately became a leader, realized what they do here at the University of Utah, and bought into it. And that's been a huge part of why everybody else who are all veterans on this team have bought into him. Right? I mean, that's part of the deal. You got to buy in the quarterback, but he bought into the program first.
The biggest problem for Utah last year was not just the injuries, but who the injuries were to. And it snowballed from there. The chances of that happening again this year are slim to none. So Utah's going to get better. You're right. They're going to be a better team this year. The question is going to be how much better and what will impact how much better they are. Last year, they did not reach 2,000 yards rushing in a season for first time in quite some time. They had 7 rushing touchdowns. 7. To give you an idea of how low that is at Utah, Devin Dampier had 19 last year at the quarterback position by himself at New Mexico. They did not run the ball the way they're used to doing. And obviously, the pass game suffered. They turned the ball a lot, so they were negative there. The chances of all those happening again are slim. So what's going to be the difference this year for Utah is the ceiling for Devin Dampier. How good can he be at that position for them? How much does that open up the offense? Do they have wide receivers that can catch the football? Because if Utah's offense can be efficient and take care of the football, it's going to be really tough on Big 12 offenses to score a lot of points against that defense, and things could go really well for Utah. I think of all the teams that struggled mightily last year in the Big 12, Utah's the most likely to have the biggest bounce back. Yeah. Would you disagree with that?
No, and you see it reflected even in the AP voters, in their first preseason poll going, let's kind of run with the vibe of what everybody is. Here's the thing. If Devin Dampier doesn't transfer to the University of Utah, whoever transfers in, or if they said, hey, we're leaning all in onto Isaac Wilson, is Utah on the edge of getting into the AP preseason poll? Here's how big of a deal quarterbacks are. Is BYU outside of the AP preseason poll if Jake Retzlaff was the starting quarterback?
No, they're top 15.
Isn't it funny how that works?
Quarterback matters.
Right.
Big time.
And Devin Dampier, I would say by himself and what he's brought during the offseason here, not that every one of these voters is paying attention to it, but you know what they do pay attention to? The vibe. Right? Around they try to get the energy level around whatever's going on at these programs.
Buzz spreads, narrative starts to develop.
And guess what the narrative has been with Utah? Oh, not only does it feel like Coach Whittingham doesn't really do these 5 and 7 seasons very often, it doesn't happen. And everyone started to go, oh yeah, they made enough changes. And frankly, it's outside of Kyle Whittingham's comfort zone to make a huge change like this on the cusp of him not being the head coach forever at Utah. He made a massive change by firing for a second time Andy Ludwig, or I guess Andy went on to, I don't know if he let him go the first time or if he went off to that Vanderbilt gig on his own.
He wasn't fired the first time. He
either
left
way,
on his own accord.
We're talking a midseason change on a guy who, for all intents and purposes, was the right-hand man of Kyle Whittingham during the time at Utah. I mean, him and Morgan Scalley, right? But you talk about people who've been with Kyle Whittingham for a long time. So he doesn't make that shift likely is what I'm saying. He doesn't make that change likely or lightly because it's something that he could define the last part of his career on that move alone. Devin Dampier could change what Kyle Whittingham's going away at the University of Utah will turn into. And over the next couple of years, whether it's this year or next, those are the 2 years you get Devin Dampier at quarterback. Are those the only 2 years you get a good quarterback at Utah? No. But you make hay while you have the opportunity. And if you've got Devin Dampier and a crack defense like you have now, again, then you could be in the college football playoff. And that's all you want to do is give yourself a shot. So let's come back. We'll get back after the break, and we'll chat a little bit about some of the NFL goings-on. Yes, actual preseason games. And, of course, the annual overdoing it on backup quarterbacks. Maybe that should be the team starter. Did you see he was 5 for 9 for 87 yards and a touchdown? Yeah, that's the kind of overreaction we love. Stay right here, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It is your NFL Blitz right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. JJ and Alex, thanks for being with us on the program. Yes, what's the biggest overreaction on the weekend of these NFL preseason games, JJ? Because
Shedeur Sanders, and I think he played well. People are either going way down on him or way up on him.
Yeah, but he turned heads.
Just let him play.
He turned heads,
man.
My favorite part of the weekend, and to me it feels like there was a moment that NFL Films caught, or one of the networks caught, where Shedeur Sanders is talking to Myles Garrett on the sideline. Did you see that? And he's like, man, I just want to see what I would be able to do against you. Like if I could maybe get you with one of my spin moves, And Garrett Miles puts his hand on his shoulder and he goes, I don't want to have to hurt you, kid. Like, we need you. He goes, we need you. And Garrett Miles is like already in street clothes. He's like already hanging outside. He goes, hey, we need you. He's like, but no, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Like, I just thought the wild thing was Shedeur Sanders going, hey man, you think I could probably like escape a sack of yours? And he's like, no, you could not.
But that's one of the great things about Shedeur Sanders.
No, you could not. I'm the best player in the freaking league at this position. No, you could not.
One of the reasons why he has reached this point in his career is because he has that confidence. And I actually love that about him, and I love confidence because I'm actually jealous of it. Because not all of us have it. And to see people that have confidence and then B, exercise that confidence is really inspiring.
I just thought it was kind of a funny moment.
He would get hurt.
Because it did feel like that's what Browns fans were basically doing this weekend. I'd like to see what he could do against a Steelers #1 defense. And he's like, no, you don't actually want to see that.
Not yet.
You don't want to see
Jackson Dart. Well, I don't want to see Jackson Dart play this year.
No, and
you need that year as a rookie to just sit back, relax, and watch things play out.
The amount of that people are talking about it, and the talking heads are going,
go get beat up while you learn how to run this team and run the playbook. Take your time.
Let Jackson Dart sit behind 2 quarterbacks. So even when and if Russell Wilson gets hurt and Jameis Winston goes in, you tell Jackson Dart, you're our emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
We don't want you to develop yet. Do not develop yet. Just develop at practice. And by the way, the media saying you're developing is not the same as us in this room saying that you're developing. The problem is, and I'll tell you this is a real concern, Brian Daboll's a smart guy. He's also on the hot seat. He's also about to get fired if he doesn't make it work. That's when guys make irrational decisions like listening to, putting their ear to the ground and having people go, Brian Daboll sucks, dude. You should put that Jackson Dart kid in. He goes, I'll try anything to keep this job. Fine. So that would be the worst case scenario is Brian Daboll feeling the type of pressure that he's going to get fired at the end of the year. So he pulls the trigger prematurely on Jackson Dart when you have a combined how many years of experience at quarterback in front of him between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston?
My goodness, yeah. Probably almost 30 years.
Yeah, it's got to be 20.
Yeah, over 20.
25 almost.
Yeah.
Let those guys teach him how to be a quarterback. Do not, okay? Shedeur Sanders, I love the confidence, kid. Take the bit of advice from Myles Garrett. We need you, kid. You know what I mean? Like, don't think you did anything wildly out of the ordinary on your quote-unquote preseason debut. I cannot emphasize the word preseason enough. Matthew Stafford still hasn't practiced in camp, according to our producer, Alex. Any response to the haters out there that say that Matthew Stafford actually might be dead somewhere? We don't know about it?
He'll be back. He's fine.
Okay. There you go.
Wow.
That's my delusion talking.
That's like... By the way, old guy with back problems, no, he'll be fine. just like my back problems? Yeah, right. They're not going away anytime soon. Oh, yeah. No, it should be good. Just give me that cortisol shot. I should be fine this weekend, sweetie.
Supposed to be the year of the Ram, man.
I feel bad for Puka Nacua. This could be the...
Might be the time to begin the Stetson Bennett era in L.A.
Is that an era? Is that
16 of 24, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Get out of here with your preseason
win
stats.
over the Dallas Cowboys.
Your Dallas Cowboys. America. By the way, the Dolphins are working out Jamal Williams. You might have a backfield, at least in the preseason, featuring Zach Wilson and Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams has had how long of a career now? Because his first year in the league was 2018, I want to say. Does that sound right? 2017?
2017. Let me look it up.
So this is a guy who's almost worked on 10 years in the league. He's been effective at every team he's gone to. He had a down year last year. He's
had a Pro Bowl year. Wasn't quite. Top 100 year.
Couple of injuries here and there that, of course, sort of slowed his deal, and he's a power back.
This would be his 9th NFL season if he can make a roster.
It's crazy. Guys like Jamal Williams end up making rosters a lot of times, and he's been working out for the Dolphins. We'll see how that one goes, BYU fans. Let me see here. The Browns said they're not ready to name a starting quarterback for, checks notes, the 17th season in a row. Now it's just for the next preseason game. But did you see the guy did you see the guy's jersey at the game that they picked up in the crowd?
No.
He's wearing a Tim Couch jersey, like an authentic Tim Couch jersey, all right? And then it has every starting quarterback. So then imagine the military names on military uniforms that are kind of that, very very kind of small nameplate. He had every starting quarterback on the back of a jersey, and it looked really dumb, and you can't believe it.
Do you know how many there's been? You want to guess?
I'm going to say since 2000, right? Or what's
Since they returned to the NFL in 1999, how many starting quarterbacks have the Browns had?
Okay, starting quarterbacks in any given game. So we're 25 years on, so that's at least 25. Add another 7. I'm going to go 8, 9. I'm going to say 32.
Higher.
No.
Yeah.
37.
Higher.
It's not in the 40s, is it? 41.
40.
No!
40 quarterbacks. 40 starting quarterbacks, and they'll have their 41st. Well, I guess Joe Flacco is already no.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco has been
his
their
name's
starter.
already on the list.
So the Browns have a returning starting quarterback.
On accident. After he wore another team's jersey last year.
Isn't that funny? They currently have 6 quarterbacks on their roster.
I've said it.
Tyler Huntley included.
At some point that formula turns around. When you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. When you have 3, you have definitely 0. I think when you have 6 quarterbacks, you have 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Here's another funny stat with the Browns. They've had 11 just since Baker Mayfield.
Oh my!
11 since Baker.
Did you find that jersey, by the way? Did you find
I didn't look it up. I was just trying to get the stats. The next closest team to the Browns during that time period since 1999 is the Chicago Bears with 30. That's still bad. But the Browns with 40 in 26 years?
This is brutal. The guy. This is it right here. I'm showing it to JJ here on the screen.
Is Detmer on there? Show me Detmer.
Detmer's on there first one because he was the guy that after Tim Couch worked out. He was.
He's got him in order. Does he really have him in order?
He does have him in order.
Oh, that's.
And in fact, it's updated
That's art.
This last weekend, he updated it and he put Sanders on it, even though obviously it's not a real start.
That's funny.
But he had to put it on there. So,
well, I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I'm being honest. I would not be surprised the way the Browns season is going to go this year that Sanders does have a start by the end of the year.
That's what's great. You could add 5 different names to that list this year.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm all for this now. Now I'm cheering for this guy to add more names to this.
He's running out of room.
He's going to have to get creative. No, he's not just running out of room. His whole format's going to have to change. He's going to have to start putting him on the front of his jersey. That'll look weird.
Start putting him on his pants.
He's going to have to start making them smaller. Anyway, all right. Bailey Zappi's on the list. Oh, my gosh.
Bailey Zappi.
All right, let's take the break here. We'll come back. We've got, when we return, we have ourselves a best and worst you don't want to miss. So stay right here, 97.5 DKSL Sports Zone.
You patiently waited and waited and waited. And now it's here. It's college football season. As the Cougars, Utes, and Aggies get ready for the upcoming season, nobody will bring you better coverage of the teams you can't live without than the KSL Sports Zone. With daily updates from camps and interviews with all the coaches and players, your home for the best coverage of college football is on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Yeah, baby.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone. Best and worst on the program. Best and worst brought to you by the Doug Smith family of dealerships. Dodge, Ram, Chevy, Subaru, Kia, now Mitsubishi, and American Fork. American Fork, Spanish Fork, and in Linden is where you can find the Doug Smith dealerships. Nobody knows cars like Doug. All right, so I saw this one today, and I said, you know what? What are we doing? A House Judiciary Committee has requested briefings from the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball commissioners to explain themselves. Like, explain to me again how these broadcast blackouts work and how it works for the American people and how this is a good thing that we've made an exception for the last checks notes since 1961, JJ, which is when this rule first came into effect. Broadcast blackouts. For those listening, explain why the broadcast blackout was a thing initially and why now we're looking at it and going, why on earth did we ever allow this to happen?
Well, it's an antitrust exemption. So it's to protect the teams and the markets that they live in. So they want you to come to their games, especially back in the day when TV watching and viewing wasn't the same as it was when people were actually putting their butts in the seats. And they relied more on people being in their seats. Well, if they didn't sell out, the NFL, this is still going on. The NFL, MLB, NBA can black out that game in that market to force people, if they want to go watch it, they're going to have to go.
For punishing the community for not paying the money to go to the game.
Right.
Continue.
Yeah. So you're realizing now in the year 2025, that's probably outdated. And even Rob Manfred came out recently from the MLB part of it and said, yeah, we got to get this is outdated.
It is stupid.
It's 2025. Linear broadcasting's slowly dying, and everything's streaming, and we've got to be part of the streaming game.
Not
and
only
we got to
that,
stop the blackouts. I mean, the NBA still blacks out. So if you have NBA League Pass, you can't watch
the local
Jazz
game.
on League Pass. You have to watch it on K-Jazz.
Sure.
So people that are streaming or mobile or whatever on their phone, they can't watch the game.
You pay that money.
But, of course, now we have SCG Plus, so they've done a great job with that.
But here's the thing that's crazy is this was put in place because they're like, look, we have a 70,000-seat stadium that we need to get butts and seats on. And the thing is if everybody's just at home watching it, they're not going to come to the game. So we'll say, if you don't come to the game, we're going to black the game out. It has never been more inaccessible to go to a stadium in any professional sport than it is right now. So these seats that are now being gobbled up by a lot of corporate sponsors, by a lot of corporations, by a lot of companies that are incentivizing employees by giving them tickets, great. The amount of money that you have to pay to go to an NBA game, the amount of money that you have to pay to go to an NFL game, which, I mean, just a quick search here. Average NFL ticket price, okay? I'm just typing it in for 2025, $137. And that sounds low, JJ. The reality is most stadiums, you're not going to be able to even walk in the door for less than $300. And I've been to a standing room only football game in the NFL when I was just in town. Happened to be in town one time for the Cowboys 49ers down in Dallas. I think we were doing some other work, and then I was like, hey, my flight doesn't leave till Monday morning early. Oh, let's go to a Cowboys game. Standing room only at that south end of the stadium. I was able to be thrown up on by drunk guys for just the small price of $209 without a seat, JJ. Standing, and you have to run. You've seen this run that they make when the doors open for the standing room only. It's like being at BYU again and trying to get tickets as to be part of the Muss or at Utah. You're at the Muss. You're fighting each other. You're pushing each other around to get to these games. Whatever. It is insane. We are long overdue by getting rid of these blackouts. And I'm glad they're like, can we ask again why we give you this exemption every year, and we have for the past 64 years that they've given that antitrust exemption.
It needs to end. Time to move on, everybody.
CeeDee Lamb, speaking of the Cowboys, speaking of standing room only on the sideline, CeeDee Lamb, celebrating as he is running off of the field in street garb. I'm saying running off the field. He's running on the sidelines, waving his towel, and did not see the referee running down the field, who absolutely, if you haven't seen the video, it's quite wild. It's probably the hardest that CeeDee Lamb has been hit in the past, 12 months. This is a guy recovering from an injury, right?
Yeah.
Great time to be run into by a ref. Great time for CeeDee Lamb to get flagged on the sideline, too. I know these guys are superstars, but back up. We've all been told to back up on the sidelines.
There are rules down there on the sideline. That also applies to the players.
So he ended up getting flagged, and with good reason. All right, we'll take a break again. We'll come back. We've got more right around the corner. Stay with us. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.